What's going on, guys, and welcome back. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. It does help motivate us to keep doing stuff like this. And this is our Monday morning meta update, where we talk about what decks are topping regionals and YCSs across the TCG. We have over 150 total tops recorded. Thank you to Facebook, YouTube, other platforms that we get all of our information from. Without the player base, this would not be possible. I would not be able to do it on my own. So thank you guys for helping out. I said last week, the first week of a format, because this is week 2, the very first week of a format, we see what deck is the best deck. Week 2 is when we see how are people going to react. So let's see what changed from last format, or last week we should say. The chart you see right there is last week's format, where Kashtira taking up 39%, sorry, Branded taking up 21%, Labyrinth 10%, Sword Soul 9%, Sprite 8%, and then the rest being our other category. What changed from that week until this is like the best decks of the format, and now we see how the format adjusts to it. So over on our left we have our fancy pie chart, and on our right I tried to break it down so you guys can see it. Kashtira with 58 tops, in other words 38%. They were at 39% last week, so kind of holding strong. There were 4 adventure variants, 3 sprite variants, 2 tier limits, and 1 sword soul variant. Or no, 2 sword soul variants. It's very small wording on my screen that I am reading. Hopefully it's a little bit bigger for you guys, otherwise moving forward I will have to change that. And keep in mind, guys, this does include the 3v3 YCS. That's where all 3 of the Sprite Kashtira lists came from. There was 1 team playing them all. Branded 22, in other words 14%. 18 out of those 22 were Despia builds, and 4 were just the Bestials and the Branded package. Labyrinth, our third best deck, still 13, other words 9%. Sword Soul 11 at 7%. Sprite 10 with 7%, 5 being pure, 2 being Runic, 2 being the Live Twin, and 1 Melfi Sprite. Runic with 6 at 4%, 5 Naturia Runic, and 1 Stun. 4 Mathmex at 3%. Floandereese with 3 for 2%, and 24 other decks. Yeah, 24 for our other deck category at 16%. So that's a pretty good format if you ask me. We have a clear-cut best deck, and then the second best deck's pretty obvious. However, it's not a big gap, and all of a sudden you got 3 more decks right there, a couple more decks that are still competing, and then a pretty decent chunk for our other category. So for like me, I actually like seeing a pie chart like this. It's not like 80% tier limits and then like 10% something else and like 5% and then only 5% other. This is actually a pretty diverse format, and I say that because here's our other chart. Yeah, this is the other chart. We got a handful of 2 of Dragon Link, Tier Laments, Dark World, Punk Therion, and Exosister, and then the 1 of Mechanical Libromancer, Draco Slayer, Madolche, Virtual World, Dinosaur, Adignister, Spellbook Dogmatica, Crystal Beast, Scareclaw, Blackwing, Sun Avalon, Altergeist, Marincess, and Plunder Patrol Adventure. So our other pie chart is nuts. Like this is insane. Like, look at it. You can't even tell what decks are where, but to me that's a pretty healthy format when you got like 5 to 7 like best decks, and then anything else can realistically compete on any given day. When we move on into what decks are winning, Kashtira has 6 premier event wins, and I did count the YCS as just 1 because it was technically 1 event, but Kashtira was the deck for all 3 players of the YCS, so that's why we have the 3v3 YCS in quotations, because they had 6 event wins, but one of those 6 was all 3 playing in the YCS. Sword Soul and Sprite each with 2 wins respectively. Branded, Labyrinth, Naturia Runic, and Mathmech each coming in with 1 regional win apiece. So if we had to put this into our fancy little tier list that we're going to keep updating once again every week, tier 1 to me is 10% to 64.9%. Tier 0 would be 65% plus. Tier 1.5 is 5 to 9.9%. Tier 2 being 2 to 4.9%. And Rogue is anything under 2%. So this isn't where I think these decks are. This is where these decks are based on how often they're topping. Tier 1 we have Kashtira and Branded. Tier 2 Labyrinth, Sword Soul, and Sprite. Tier 3 Runic, Mathmech, and Flaunderies. And then we have all of our rogue decks, the Dragon Link, Tear Lament, Punk Therian, Exosister, Dark World, Mechanical, Virtual World, Dino, Ignister, Spellbook, Draco Slayer, Crystal Beast, Scareclaw, Blackwing, Sun Avalon, Madolche, Altergeist, Marincess, and Plunder Patrol. I may have missed Madolche. I don't remember if it was on our one-ofs list or not, but they did have one regional top as well. So that's it, guys. We did it in about 5 minutes. Once again, I'm gonna try and keep these videos short, sweet. What happened up until this time of the format, then what changes after this week of the format, and then an updated tier list moving forward. What surprised you the most? What surprised you the least? Let me know down below. What changes do you think is going to happen next week? The Labyrinth deck is right there. They're at 9.8% at the moment, just about to move into that tier 1 category. Will they do it this coming week, or will they start to slow down? Will Branded still continue to decline? They went from 21% down to 14%. What do you think is going to happen moving forward? Again, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, guys, take care.